Alrighty, so if you clicked on this video, you probably want to overcome your stutter, but you couldn't find any solution. At least not yet. All the videos that you watched, all the opinions, all the tricks and tips that you got before are not working anymore, and it seems like you are going to be talking this way for the rest of your life. So to start things off, why do you feel like you're stuck? Like I said just now, you watched so many videos before, or people told you so many solutions and tricks before. Well, all of them, I will bet, will be around have to be confident, you should breathe before you speak, you should take a deep breath, and then you should talk slowly. And all of this, I bet you've heard at least one of the things that I've just said. So first of all, being confident. How the hell can you be confident? Define being confident. Is there a way to be confident? Well, you will hear that you have to stand straight, and you have to maintain eye contact. You don't have to be afraid. So all of this, there is no practical solution within. Like all of this, you're just talking, and it's easier said than done. Then the second thing that we have is to take a deep breath before we speak. This thing actually might work, but only if you do it by yourself. I mean, if you do it alone at your place, it's gonna work because you'll have all the time to do it, and there is no external factors that is going to stress you out. But the thing is, if you're going to talk to a stranger outside, or if you're trying to order outside, trust me, and I've been there, you cannot just pause it and take a deep breath and then apply all of those breathing techniques. That simply does not work. Another one is to be relaxed. You just have to be relaxed and calm before you speak. There is nothing to be afraid of. Well, guess what? I also know that theoretically, on the logical side of my brain, I know that. But when it comes to the emotional side of things, my brain simply goes on an automatic response, which is gonna be stress, anxiety, and panic. And it happens all the time. Even though I try to convince my brain that nothing's gonna happen and all things gonna be fine and you don't have to worry about anything, while it goes into autopilot again, and I experience the same stress and anxiety symptoms. So what is happening over here, and what's wrong? What is keeping us away from actually sounding fluent? Well, my answer to this that helped me a lot is that instead of trying to focus on techniques and breathing exercises, let's try and focus on the emotional pain behind it, right? I think there is an emotional pain that is pulling us down, and that is keeping us away from actually progressing and from fixing this issue or this stuttering. So what's this emotional pain about, right? I would like to see it as in two categories of emotional pain. Well, the first one is coming from stress and anxiety, and the second one is from shame, guilt, self-pity, negative self-image. So the first one is about anxiety, and the second one is about self-esteem, really, and the way we see ourselves whenever we stutter. See, if you pay attention to those two, you're going to know what is happening with you when you are stuttering. Like, what is actually happening in the background? What is your brain thinking at this time? And understanding that will help you empathize with yourself more, will help you understand yourself better. Instead of just pushing with the techniques and trying to sound fluent, let's try and actually understand what is happening emotionally. And I'm pretty sure that many of us would think that stress or anxiety are the reason behind stutter. And we can also think the other way around, which makes us think that stutter is causing our anxiety. So, like, how can we break this loop? Both of them can be correct, actually. But in this case scenario, let's focus on the anxiety and stress and focus on the reason behind them. What is happening in our brain that makes us feel that way, right? What is the cause of them, let's say biologically, right? Not to care too much about the stuttering, because the stuttering itself is a mechanical issue, or let's say is a coordination, it's a speech coordination issue. So it's just a timing issue there, because for a person that doesn't stutter, this entire process of speaking is just automatic. But for us, it's actually a bit tricky because it is not synchronized, and we have to do that manually, kind of. That is an entire coordination between your breath, your vocal cords, jaw and lung, tongue, lips movement. So a lot of coordination should happen in order to get a word out, and it's gonna be manual for us. Whereas for a person who does not stutter, all of this process is kind of automatic, so they don't need to think about it too much. So it's not only for people who stutter that they must or they should be struggling with anxiety or stress. Stress and anxiety has nothing to do with stuttering. But in fact, I always like to separate them. I always like to treat stuttering or stutter as a mechanical coordination, timing, whatever you name it. And then we have anxiety and stress, which are really far away from it, right? This needs breathing exercises and practice, right, for the mechanical aspect of it, and those emotions on the other side needs an entirely different work. So what is causing these two? What is causing us to stress or to have anxiety? Well, as we defined stutter as a mechanical issue, let's define what is stress, or let's define what is fear, because it's the base of it, right? Fear is a basic emotion, and for the human being, there is 5 to 6 basic emotions. So we have fear, sadness, anger, surprise, disgust, joy, and that was 6, I guess. So all of these are the basic emotions for a human being. So an emotion is there to actually prepare your body to act in a certain way that will be the appropriate response for the current situation, right? So imagine you are in a certain situation, or you just perceive something. Your body or your brain is gonna trigger an emotion, which is gonna trigger some hormones in your body that will let you act in a way to calm those emotions down. So I want you to picture an emotion as just a signal, right? It is a signal, and then you have to act based on that signal. So what will happen if you ignore those signals? We're gonna see. We're gonna give an example with fear. Fear is there whenever your brain perceives a threat. So whenever your brain detects that something is actually dangerous. So this emotion has been triggered based on a situation, right? Or based on your brain interpretation to a situation that is actually happening. Because our brain, I mean, we are different, and based on our experiences, past experiences, we can perceive one situation. I mean, if you put two persons, right, into one situation, the two of them are going to have a different interpretation, and the different interpretation means a different emotion, or even if it was the same emotion, it's not gonna be with the same intensity. So this is why past experiences do matter. Actually, they matter a lot. So let's continue with our example with fear, right? So whenever this emotion got triggered, there are actually 2 hormones that your body is gonna release. Well, the first one is cortisol, the other one is adrenaline. So those two are called stress hormones. These hormones are here to push your body to act in a certain way, And which ways that I'm talking about here? Well, when it comes to fear, there is actually three responses. They're called fight, flight, or freeze response, right? So in a dangerous situation, when we perceive something as dangerous, we might act in three different ways. Well, the first one is fight. So we might actually go and fight the source of danger, right? This might be, imagine someone is trying to rob you, someone is trying to attack you, you might attack them back. You might as well flee. You might run away, which is the flight response. The freeze response, however, it is the moment when you feel like you're frozen and you don't know what to do, so you just stand there even though the danger is approaching you, but you'll have no clue what to do, so you're just standing there and staring at the danger. It might seem confusing and weird, but those are the three responses when it comes to fear. So to link this with stuttering, well, our brain has learned that stutter or speaking is actually linked with fear. So why is it that way, right? Well, simply because your brain wants to protect you at any time. And from the past experiences, your brain has experienced emotional pain, which was linked to speaking. So people were making fun of you, you were not accepted the way you were speaking, people might have bullied you in the past, and your brain had just linked the speaking experience with emotional pain. So it sees it as something dangerous, especially when, and I know many of us have been through here, like you feel like you have to sound fluent in order to be accepted by groups or by your family or by anyone really. So your brain actually had learned that whenever you're about to speak, you should be really careful and you should apply all of those techniques just to avoid one thing, which is stuttering, which is blocks, repetitions, or anything that might seem like stutter. A lot of pressure is gonna be here, right? And focusing on our fear, you're gonna have those one of those three responses. In all of them, you're gonna have those stress hormones, right? So it's gonna be adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline and cortisol is gonna make your heart race. It's gonna make you all sweaty. You're gonna feel like you have a short breath. So all of these is just to actually prepare your body to do something, to fight, flee, or just be frozen. Well, this is another case, but let's focus on just flight or fight or flight, right? So in those two, you feel like you are going to start a war, but you're actually just about to speak. And this is the reasons why we might panic, right? Because we see like we are shaking, we are running out of breath, and these symptoms is gonna be visible to others, which makes it more scary because we're afraid of other judgments since we don't know what is actually wrong with us. In reality, there is nothing wrong, it's all natural. If those two hormones are being released in anyone's body, really, it doesn't matter if the person is stuttered or not, well, they're gonna experience the same symptoms. These are called physical symptoms, and they're gonna happen to all of us. It doesn't matter if you stutter or not. So this entire situation might worsen our speech and might even cause us to stutter even more. Why, you might be asking? Well, it's not because the stress causes you to stutter, it's just because our way of seeing the stress. Well, we kinda do not know what is happening in the current moment because we see like all of these symptoms and we might start panicking and we might try to push them down or to do something just to calm ourselves. Well, you might try to relax and to take deep breath. Well, taking a deep breath and trying to relax is telling your brain to shut down and to actually hide this emotion or like push it down. We're talking about fear here. Remember that I told you that I'm going to tell you guys what is gonna happen if you try and push one of the emotions down, or just to cover the emotion and just pretend that it does not exist. Well, it's gonna be worse. It's gonna amplify those symptoms. Your brain is actually smart or it's dumb, depends on the way you see it, but it's actually here to protect you. So if you try to hide those symptoms, it might just say, yo, what are you doing here? I'm telling you that we are approaching a dangerous thing here, and you're trying to tell me to calm down. Uh, I'm gonna send you stronger signals now. See, so that's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna feel like you're running out of breath. You're gonna feel like all those symptoms are not disappearing, and they are actually becoming worse. So all of these, and then imagine you're trying to just order a thing. So then you're gonna stutter, you're gonna block, you're gonna, because it's an entire mess. You might just forget to breathe, and you cannot actually breathe because you're so out of breath. So you actually stutter that, and you block, you go to order something and you spend there 30 seconds, which might feel as like 30 hours trying to deliver your order or to say what you're gonna order, right? But then, okay, let's say you managed to say it, it took you a while, okay, sure. But then after the situation, what is going to appear right now, what is going to pop up is the shame, guilt, self-pity, negative self-image. All of these are gonna be present. This is why I told you guys from the beginning, I always see them as like two separate things. We have stress and anxiety, which comes before and in the current moment whenever you're speaking, and then the after effect, the post effects are the feelings that I've just told you guys about, which are shame, guilt, self-pity, negative self-image, and things that are related to self-esteem, really. So I'm going to make more videos about self-esteem, about anxiety, and we're going to explain them also, right? But in this video, I just want you to actually notice what is happening and notice why do you feel stuck. The answer is that we are not paying much attention, or we are not paying enough attention to the other side of the problem, which is all of this emotional pain that I've been talking about in this video. So as a recap, and what I want you to keep from this video, is that there is an emotional part that you should be noticing. At least I'm not telling you to find any solutions yet or to sound fluent, right? Just to understand right now. Just give yourself some time and be really gentle with yourself, because that really matters and that really helps. And actually take this time, take the, from this video on, try to notice and observe what is happening with your body, like what kind of physical symptoms you're having. And then you might also notice what kind of thoughts. So not all of them, and be aware of them. Trust me, just being aware of those symptoms and understanding what is happening, what is their cause, can help a lot. I know that I didn't mention any solution in this video, not even a single solution, but I believe like 70% of the problem resolution, especially when it comes to stutter, or to actually all the problems, is to actually understand them, right? So if you understand what is happening with you while you're stuttering, or while you think that you have to speak and you start to experience all of these weird symptoms, well, from now on, they're not weird anymore. They're just natural, and they happen because of something. So this is my purpose of explaining things, just to simplify them and just to remove the weird part of it, because there is no weirdness in it. So with that being said, that was it for this video. This is the part number 1, I guess, from the series that I'll be making. More videos like this are upcoming to this channel. And yeah, that was it for me. I hope you guys have learned at least one thing, and it did help at least 1%. So yeah, take care, and catch you in the next one. Love ya.